welcome to Yellowstone 2026 Yellowstone Lake paddle. We just got dropped off right back there at site 7L5. There's Catherine. And we're going to go around this point. We just have a short little paddle to our campsite at 7L4 for tonight. So we are going to get that rolling, and I will check in when we get closer to camp. All right, welcome to campsite 7L4's tour. We had a short, little over a mile paddle here. We came down the shoreline that way, and there's the canoe. This is looking back. This is, you might think this is the entirety of the lake, but this is actually just a small portion of the lake. So we're in 7L4. It's called the ravine site, and you have to come up a little bit of a hill, but not a big deal. Walk up into camp here. This site has a bear hang and a bear box, but I don't think people use the bear hang because it's a little close to that tree. So, but bear hang, bear box, have all our food and scented items in there. Real nice campfire area here. Catherine's reading. Real nice campfire area here overlooking the lake. And then we set up our tent over there. So our tent is way over there, away from all the smelly stuff, I guess. But yeah, 7L4, pretty nice site actually. We had a great shuttle drop off this morning. They dropped us off at Wolf Point, which is right at campsite 7L5 actually. So they dropped us off there. We had about a 45-minute paddle down, and this is our view here on Yellowstone Lake. I'll check in later or tomorrow morning when we set off for our next site. All right, good morning. We are leaving 7L4. It is 7:05 a.m. and we've got about 9 miles to go today. Slept pretty good last night. A little chilly this morning, hot yesterday. We are headed to 7M3 today in the Flat Mountain Arms. We have a little crossover that we're going to do. But overall, should be at camp pretty early today. So I'll check back in along the way, see some of the scenery here as we're paddling. Alright, I will check back in later. Sandbar in front of us is Wolf Point. We're about to cross over at the end of it, and then go up the far shoreline. Got some little rollers this morning, but nothing crazy. Some 6-inch rollers. Water is so clear here. I believe the mountain right in front of you is called Flatiron Mountain, and we're about to go down the Flatiron Mountain Arm. After we cross over, and then we got to go around the point and then down in, and we got to find another place to cross over, and then down the point. Pretty little bay right there.
We sure this is it?
Yes.
We're not going that way.
No.
We're going here?
Yes.
Shallow here.
Alright, I'll check back in later. Little choppier here as we go down into flat mountain arm, but it smooths out a little bit as we come down the shoreline. Going right into the waves too.
Oh boy.
Paddling, okay.
Huh?
Try to keep a good steady stroke.
Don't ride the waves.
there straight.
We're coming down this way?
Yeah, we're gonna follow the shoreline.
Well, there's also a shore over there.
I know we're following this shoreline. Would you rather be safe or not safe? Okay.
I don't see any camp signs, but there's also not as much shade over here.
Yeah, not right now. Yeah. That's what I don't like. I don't like waves hitting us from the side. We're fine. It's not ideal.
Huh?
It's not ideal.
So we're going around.
Correct, yes. Once we get past this real little point right in front of us right here, to your right, yeah, we should be able to just cut down across. All right, we're down here in the flat mountain arm. And no more chop, little protected area. No breeze whatsoever, actually. And you can see there's flat mountain right there in front of us, and our campsite is back down in over here somewhere. So we've got to cross over at some point. Just a little scenery. It is 8:43, so we've been paddling for about 2 hours. So I'm guessing we probably have about another hour and 15 minutes to paddle, would be my guess. Check back in later. All right, we're cutting across flat mountain arm. Our campsite is actually behind us on the opposite shore, so we are cutting across and then heading up the opposite shoreline. While the water is like glass. All right, here is some video from night 2 is our campsite 7M3. A little campsite marker. There's Catherine coming back from the toilet.
Hello.
Got your bear spray? Ah, look at that. Nice little walk up here. Very nice site. This little fire pit. Can't see the lake from it though. Our one last night was nice. Catherine did all this firewood gathering when we got to camp. And here's the bear hang. No box tonight. Hang. Already hung up there and ready. Don't let it fool you. There's no walls around it. It's just a seat and a hole in the ground. And then over here we got our tent all set up. Here we are. A very nice site. We got here really early. There was a tent over there in that clearing till about 1:30, and there was sparsely anything in it. And you're supposed to be out of your sight by 11, and so we have one bar of service here, and we called the office to let them know, like, hey, this seems kind of odd. There's no boats here or anything. They ended up showing back up. They were out fishing and lost track of time apparently. So anyways, short little jaunt back. Getting a little windy this afternoon. We got to camp today at 10 o'clock. So we got here pretty quick today. And there's our setup. Doing a little charging. I'm sitting over here in the shade. I don't want anything to do with the sun. So, yep. Here's our view from 7M3, Yellowstone National Park, Yellowstone Lake. All right, we are leaving 7M3 about 40 minutes later than yesterday. We had some pretty bad thunderstorms come through this morning around 4 o'clock. All right, we have now entered the coveted south arm. I'm sorry for the wobbly video, but I had to change my battery. So we are moving pretty good. We've already rounded the point.
Got it?
All right, now we're situated. Okay. Alright, so we are now in the South Arm. Our campsite is probably a little over 3 miles down the right side of this arm. 7M8. I don't know if the camera really does justice to how pretty it is out here.
Definitely not.
But yeah, we had some gnarly lightning and thunder this morning and some pretty heavy rain. We had some pretty heavy rain yesterday. About, what time was that? About 6? 5:30?
Yeah, it interrupted both my dinner and my breakfast.
Yeah. We ate dinner a little later last night, and we did not eat breakfast today just because there's another chance of some storms coming through. I think starting at 10, but it could be 11. One thing that I just don't like about the Garmin InReach is when you do weather reports, it skips every 2 hours. So like, it gave me the forecast for 9 o'clock, but then went to 11 o'clock. So I don't know what's happening between, I know 9 o'clock was 0, just overcast, cloudy like it is here. And 11 o'clock is a 30% chance of thunderstorms. So who knows? Alright, I'll check in later. Still making our way down the South Arm. We're passing our first campsite on the South Arm. It's to the right there. I don't know if you can see the tents.
It looks like it's close by.
Over there. A little bit of chop. More than I'd prefer, but we're hugging the shoreline. So. Birds over here.
Oh yeah?
Guess it's because it's in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice sight.
Not a whole lot of shade.
Well, you got those trees right there. I think that probably affords you enough. Doesn't look real nice in here, so.
Do we need to pull off?
No, I think we're okay right now. As long as we hug the shore. 7M4 campsite right now. We are currently windbound. We do have a fire going and a little bit of a fire sale here. We decided to have lunch. I got the tarp over there drying out. We got here pretty early this morning. We didn't have any problems paddling out of our campsite, and when we came down into the south arm here, there were just really bad wind and waves. Just couldn't paddle in it. It's getting a little bit better now. It's currently 12:18, so we're just waiting for, hopefully the sun comes out and burns everything off, and this slows down a little bit where there's no white caps and not a lot of wind, so we can get out of here. So but we'll hang out here until everything's calmed down. Like I said, we got a fire. We're at a campsite, nice campsite here. Actually 2 campsites right here. We'll hang out here as long as we have to, and if we have to stay the night tonight here, we'll stay the night tonight here, and just tack on we got about 4 miles to camp, so we're just gonna kind of see how things roll. Met some nice people that were here from Wyoming, so Catherine's doing good. We'll just wait it out. Best to be safe always when you're on the water. So hopefully this passes on by here and the lake calms down enough to where we feel it's safe, and then we'll head on our way. There's a couple more campsites down this right side of the arm, south arm as well, in case it kicked up again while we were out and we needed to pull off. So check in later when we head out. All right, we have left our beached site and we are now heading to camp. Water's still a little choppy, but barely any white caps, and we're going right into them, so it'll cut it pretty good. So not a whole lot of wind. So we're gonna bust it down to our campsite. We are gonna stay close to shore. So I want to, as best as we can, I want to keep the boat nose into the waves, okay? I think that we're okay right here.
Okay.
If it gets worse, we can always change our minds, okay? I think we're going to be okay. Nope. Just paddle. Clean your shoes when we get to camp. I got pebbles in mine too. The harder we paddle, the quicker we get there. Here's the thing, when you stop and you actually think, it's not that bad. You know what I mean?
I didn't say it was bad.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, like, for myself, like,
Yeah,
you know, like you have in your mind.
A little upset, honey, and I knew that weather was a possibility. I mean, it was
You have in your mind of an agenda that you're trying to do, right?
Right.
And you want to get to camp. But the most important thing is safety, always.
Also, you know, like, we're not really on a schedule.
No. This is like a real day's paddling in all honesty.
Right.
Turn the GPS back on.
Oh, did you let everybody know?
Nope.
Are you going to do that?
Maybe when we get a little farther.
Okay. Turn the map on. Like, turn our GPS on.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
I'm trying to figure out what these folks are doing. This must be the next campsite.
I don't know. remember too, this boat is made for lakes. And we're pretty heavy now, which is a plus. I don't worry about being flipped over. I worry about like a wave going over the bow or going over the sides. That's what I worry about.
Well, that's why you have the baler.
Yeah, and that's why we're close to shore. Just think of it like, you know, when we hit those rapids on the Green River and stuff, you know? We had those big waves on the Missouri, remember? No, this is fine.
When that wind picked up and it was pushing us, I was like, I don't think we can do this.
Right. That's why we got out. Well, coming around that point too, the wind was pushing us in, so it was coming from our side.
Right.
We're fine. Nope, we're fine. Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
Guys having any luck? Nice, nice. Well, we've been beached for about 3 hours, so
We couldn't get out of that that site over there because the wind was just.
yeah,
So we're staying way.
we
back
left
there.
7M3 this morning and came around that point. And I was like, holy crap!
It's like we're not going anywhere.
So we're going down to.
You're very gutsy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is part 2.
Good luck.
Yeah, we're good.
Have fun today.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, paddle hard. All right, check back in later. All right, continuing to make our way down.
Much better.
So far, so good. .141 mountain time. Not sure what time we'll get to camp. We've already passed one campsite. I don't think we've passed the second because I haven't seen a marker. We're paddling pretty hard. Trying to get to camp. Alright, I'll check back in later.
That looks like it's going to be a really cool site.
Yeah. Alright, next campsite is ours on this kind of adventurous day. Just past 7M7. And we are headed to 7M9, so shouldn't be too much longer. Getting into some meadowy areas with some trees, so different type of terrain, which is cool. And we're down far in the South Arm.
Better to get there a little bit late and be safe.
Yep. Had a pretty eventful day today, so that is okay. While we were windbound, we had lunch and had some coffee, and so yeah, I see our site now. It's down in the left corner there. I can see the orange from here, in between two trees there, to the right of that open meadow.
Oh, yep.
Don't think there's a lot of shade there, so good thing it's an overcast day. I'll check back in when we're pulling into camp. Alright, I'm going to take you into our campsite 7M9. Kind of meadowy. You can hear some Canada geese. They're everywhere. Even on Yellowstone Lake. Seen some bald eagles, seen some white pelicans. A loon at our last site was hanging around, which was nice. Didn't hear it though at night or anything. But there was a loon there. Yeah, we'll go to the left of that like little stump right there. It looks like it angles down.
Yeah. Is to the right of the marker?
Nope, you see that stump down by the water?
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to the left of that.
Correct. Here we are at 7M9. See See the little orange marker that's at every campsite? It does look like there's some rocks there, so. Nope, we're gonna go right in between these two rocks. All right, I'll give you a tour once we get everything set up and figured out.
Smooth landing.
Too bad. Well, there is a body of water here, so it's probably going to be big.
Is the boat stable right there, you think?
Yes. Good, that's good.
Yes, before I change clothes, I will be deliberately.
All right, here is our view from campsite 7L9. 7L9 in the pretty near the bottom of the south arm of Yellowstone Lake. Catherine. Oh, our tent. There's our marker. Or sorry, 7M9. There's our tent over there. Catherine
Soon to be fire.
Catherine did a nice job collecting some driftwood for our fire tonight. Walk around shore here. Here's the boat. Just looking off into a little nice meadow behind us. Bear hang, filtering some water. Here's the meadow behind us. It's been cloudy like this all day. Might have some weather coming through again. So, really stupid thing today, I don't mind telling. We got to camp and we were excited. Stressful day with the wind and waves and weather. We got to camp here about, I don't know, probably 2:30, 3 o'clock, something like that. Maybe a little bit before then. Got everything unpacked and we were setting the tent up, and Catherine went down to shore, and I was not smart with making sure the boat was pulled up far enough, and it wandered off into the lake about 15-20 yards. So I had to go for a quick little swim. It was about chest deep, and then I had to swim for about 2 yards to grab it and then swim it back. So wasn't a big deal, but just a reminder to always make sure as soon as you get to wherever it is you're going, secure your boat. That's got to be the biggest lesson for today. We got beached, for 3.5 or so hours, and with the wind and stuff, but now we're here and set up. So beautiful country, beautiful country. Check back in later.